Applicant's Guide. Bjmp Recruitment Process. Step L, Preliminary Interview and Assessment. Go to the nearest Bjmp regional office, then proceed to the Directorate for Personnel and Records Management, DPIM, Personnel and Records Management Division, PRMD, and submit your application to the authorized personnel. The following documents placed in a folder properly tabbed and labeled. Duly accomplished personal data sheet, CS form number 212, revised 2017, photocopy of birth certificate issued by NSO, PSA, authenticated copy of college diploma, authenticated copy of transcript of records, authenticated certificate of eligibility or board rating with PRC ID, photocopy of marriage certificate, if married, from PSA. Photocopy of NBI clearance, photocopy of police clearance, photocopy of barangay clearance, photocopies of court clearances, fiscal clearance.mtc.rtc. Photocopy of NCIP, NCMF certificate, if necessary. NCMF should be issued by the Bureau of External Relations. Photocopies of certificate, S of previous and present employment, photocopies of certificate, S of seminars, training completed, valid community tax certificate .1x1 and passport size pictures with name tag, 1 PC each. Bring the original documents for verification purposes. Step 2, Initial Medical Evaluation. After passing the previous step, you will be endorsed to the Regional and National Health Service Unit for initial medical evaluation, which includes the following. Initial physical examination, no gross major visual defect, no hearing loss or impairment, no gross deformities of nasal and oropharyngeal cavities, no other deformities that may affect speech, mastication, and deglutition. No gross skeletal deformity that will limit joint movements, no dermatological diseases that are communicable, no skin tattoo, S, and soft tissue and glandular masses, no unusual body piercing, S. Hepatitis B screening. If you are tested positive or reactive to HBsAg and did not pass the initial physical examination, you will not be allowed to proceed to the next phase of the recruitment process. Step 3, Entry-Level Examination. After the closing date, deadline of the submission of application, the DPIM shall schedule the conduct of examination for all J01 applicants. The entry-level examination, ENLX, shall be composed of the following. Part 1 General Information 20%, Part 2 Mathematics 20%, Part 3 Basic English and Grammar 30%, Part 4 Sentence Arrangement and Paragraph Completion 20%, Part V Essay 10%. The passing rate shall be determined by the NPSPB based on the total number of applicants who took the ENLX vis-à-vis the number of vacant slots. Failure to obtain the passing rate in the exam shall automatically disqualify the applicant during the current recruitment period. Step 4, Neuropsychiatric Evaluation. Once you pass the ENLX, you will undergo a neuropsychiatric evaluation. It will test your mental stability, adaptability and psychological functioning to see if you're fit for the job. Remember that this is the part where the majority of the applicants fail, so be careful. On the examination date, please bring the following: latest colored passport size picture, valid identification card, pencil with eraser, black ball pen. The neuropsychiatric examination results are expected to come out after 1 to 2 weeks and will be released by the Health Service Unit, HSU, through the DPIM. Applicants who fail may retake the exam after 6 months from the time of the last NP exam. If you pass the neuropsychiatric examination, you must report to the HSU on the scheduled date for the conduct of the neuropsychiatric interview. If you manage to pass the previous steps, you will be required to appear before the National Selection and Placement Board, NPS, for the panel interview. The interviewees shall be rated as follows. Criteria rating: grooming, general appearance, bearing 20%, manner of speaking, clarity and coherence in presenting ideas 20%, reasoning ability 20%, critical thinking and maturity of judgment 20%, leadership potential 20%. Results shall be immediately announced after the scheduled interview. Make sure that you obtain the average of at least 70% during the panel interview, otherwise, you will be disqualified for the next recruitment stage. Step 6, Initial Deliberation. During this stage, the NPSPB, RPSPB shall determine the sufficient number of applicants recommended to proceed to the next step depending on the quota available. The qualified applicants, including those granted automatic waivers, shall be ranked based on the results of the ENLX panel interview and premium points given. Step 7. Medical and dental evaluations. If you are included on the list of qualified applicants who will undergo medical, dental examinations, you can now proceed to the HSU for the conduct of physical, medical and dental examinations and secure referrals for the required laboratory tests. After the lab tests, submit the original laboratory results to the HSU, but do not forget to secure photocopies as you will need them later on. If you are found to have medical and dental conditions that cannot be remedied, you will fail this stage. Otherwise, you will be certified physically fit for training and subsequently be endorsed to Bjmp. Step 8. Strength and agility tests. Applicants who pass the medical and dental examination shall be required to undergo the Strength and Agility Test, SAT. Report in athletic attire on the scheduled date and time, and prepare to perform the following exercises. Push-up 25 for male, 15 for female 1 in minute, jumping jack 100 for male, 70 for female 2 in minutes. Pull-ups 3 for male, full arms hanging 30 seconds for female. 100 meter sprint 15 seconds for male, 18 seconds for female. 1 kilometer run 5 minutes for male, 6 minutes for female. An applicant who failed to meet the standard in two of the five events shall be disqualified to proceed to the next phase of the screening process. However, he or she is given a chance to repeat the failed events in another scheduled date. Step 9. Final deliberation. Here, all the applicants who passed the previous stages will be ranked using a point system. The point system for the final order of merit shall be as follows. Criteria. Entry-level examination 60%, panel interview 30%, premium points 10%, final average, sum of the results. The NPSPB shall have a final deliberation on the list of applicants that will be recommended to the Chief, Bjmp, for appointment as JO1. Step 10. Submission of required documents. For applicants who will be appointed as a Jail Officer 1 in NHQ, please submit three folders properly tabbed and labeled containing the following. Copy for Bjmp, a duly accomplished personal data sheet, CS Form number 212, revised 2017, authenticated transcript of records, authenticated college diploma, authenticated certificate of eligibility or board rating. Original copy of birth certificate issued by NSO PSA, original clearances, NBI, Police, BRGY. MTC, RTC, and Prosecutor's Office, medical certificate issued by HSU, photocopy of laboratory results submitted to HSU, duly accomplished statement of assets and liabilities and net worth, original marriage certificate issued by NSO PSA, if married, original certificate of confirmation from the NCIP or NCMF, if necessary. Copy for the Civil Service Commission, CSC, personal data sheet, CS Form number 212, revised 2017, 2 sets, authenticated certificate of eligibility or board rating with receipt, photocopy of certificate of confirmation from the NCIP or NCMF, if necessary. Copy for the Jail National Training Institute, JNTI, white heavy checkmark personal data sheet, white heavy checkmark photocopy of transcript of records, white heavy checkmark photocopy of college diploma, white heavy checkmark photocopy of certificate of eligibility or board rating, white heavy checkmark photocopy of birth certificate issued by PSA. Photocopy of clearances, NBI, Police, BRGY. MTC, RTC, and Prosecutor's Office, medical certificate issued by HSU, photocopy of laboratory results submitted to HSU. Photocopy of marriage certificate issued by NSO, if married, photocopy of certificate of confirmation from the NCIP or NCMF, if necessary. Additional documents may be required by regional officers if necessary. Step 11. Oath-taking. This is the final part of the selection process. Here, you will sign the certificate of undertaking, which signifies your concurrence to accept any designation that will be given to you as a Jail Officer 1 in the Bjmp regardless of your educational background and region of origin. Report at the PIMD in blue mime pants, white round neck shirt, black garrison belt with silver buckle, white pair of shoes and socks with a proper haircut. Bring two documentary stamps and valid community tax certificate for the oath of office form. Oath-taking ceremony shall proceed upon the approval and availability of the appointing authority.